Y'all, I just want to say this deck is unbelievably broken. I hit rank 1 on a 17 game win streak. What do you mean 17? I've never done that even in Runeterra. Today I'm going to break down how you pilot the deck and why I made some unorthodox card choices. The OG build from Choco Toonie looks like this, and as soon as I lost to it on ladder, I knew I had to try it for myself. Huge credit to Tomas OW for helping me refine the deck list. Aardvark is ridiculous in the deck, Territorial Pack is ridiculous in the deck. Oh my god, this deck is crazy. This deck can win in 3 different ways. Number 1 is just beating their ass with Aardvark. Number 2 is Roiling Amalgam getting too large to deal with. And number 3, of course, is the Wandering Mountain plus Chrono Scan combo. The early game is spent developing your board and chipping down the opponent's health, and your late game is spent converting on that chip using things like Zorp, Wandering Mountain, and Ziv to press the HP of your opponent. The deck is ratioed on the lighter side, meaning in the mulligan you're going to look almost exclusively for Scuttling Spares and Pocket Dimension. After you've found one of those, preferably Scuttling Spares, you can look for things like Aardvark, Territorial Pack, and Efficient Scrap Pop. Let's hop into a match and I'll show you how it's done. Like, this arc, you just gotta see it to believe it. It's so crazy. Alright, we've got ourselves a match. Telepathic Conduit Gilded Behemoth. Definitely not a meta deck. I'm not sure what they're gonna do to us, but we'll have to find out. We definitely want a Pocket Dimension. We're gonna want this in Zorp primarily, and once we have that, we can afford to keep some other stuff. I'm pretty willing to try to go wide, especially if they're gonna try to land a random Telepathic Conduit. It also seems like they may be doing a lot of Pressure Spike, damage-based removal. We're thinking about Painbringer. We're thinking about like Roiling Amalgam dying pretty easily. Yeah. And we don't have a way to kill Gilded Behemoth in this deck, so we're definitely going to want to try to like murder them quickly. And that's of course going to involve Zorps. A damage-based deck like that amps their damage, but they don't deal 1 damage very easily. This is interesting. Maybe they're more of a burn deck than I realized. In that case, then it's definitely is maybe more burns. Probably going to go Territorial Pack and then an Enhanced Receiver. Well, let me think. I'm just considering like how fast I can get Zorp onto the board. Like, it looks like I can start Zorping them starting on turn 4. And for a matchup like this, Zorp is going to be really awesome. Yeah, I think I definitely want to draw my second discard, then turn 3 double discarding. Or what I'm probably going to do is Efficient Scrap Bot and then play the Territorial Pack, go 6 wide, hit them as hard as I can. Of course, it turns on their their Decimate to 5 damage, but with 3 time stop, I shouldn't be having too much trouble in a matchup like this. Interesting. Played it out cold just as a blocker there. Definitely a little bit afraid of what's happening to them, as they should be. Aardvark is an insane pickup here. I was, of course, going to go Territorial Pack, but we've got an even better line. Yeah, shout out Aardvark. This card is like the unsung hero of this deck. Like, the Mountain is really the poster child of the deck, but the Aardvark is like the reason you actually win games, because it presses so much damage into your opponent so fast that like look at what I just did. Aardvark was is a 4/4 for 2 mana, and it leveled this guy. Like, oh my god. And then they have to also kill it, or it's going to become a 3/3. Genuinely ridiculous. Yeah, they've got to kill it or it'll become a 3/3. I mean, it's just an absolute beatdown on the opponent. And this is how a lot of games go against non-meta decks, where they just are unprepared for you to spam out a gazillion 2/2s and 3/3s, and like they're gonna die before they even ever see the Mountain. they're gonna die before they even see the Ziv. Like, you don't even have to use your secondary and tertiary ones on matchups like this. You just hit them, and like, I'm gonna headbang face and play Zorb, and they're probably dead. And here is a moment where you can play it a little bit slower, play for the time stop. Like, I'm threatening lethal by such a hilarious margin. Like, I only need to deal 3 damage to them, and maybe less because they're gonna hit themselves in the face with Volcanic. So like, I need like 2 damage. Like, any one of these units is lethal, so I can afford to just pass the turn. Okay, that is not something I'm... So let's just scoot around. They're gonna use it in response. Well, actually, would I rather absorb? I would rather. Yeah, I have to decide between scoot around and zorping, but I think I'm down to zorp. Get my zorp on a little bit. Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, another 1 damage into their next self-deploy. And also notice how my resources are just... I have a full hand. They have 3 cards left. Like, this is just... I'm absolutely spamming out units and stuff, and there's no... like, there's no way for them to contest it. I am gonna use Scoot Around. That's here. Yeah. There's just... the way in which this deck wins is so... it's like a brute force. Like, truly, the opponent just has, like, no chance. It's crazy. Okay, now we've got another matchup against Fractals. So again, we have Pocket Dimension, which we like. And again, we have Vision Scrapbot, which we like. Of course, in this kind of matchup, we don't have a way to, like, remove Fractal permanently, so we've got to, like, put the pedal to the metal and actually kill them. Double Scout Around is a little bit suspicious. Ooh, Triple Scout Around is really suspicious. Not something that I like to see. Warp? Oh my goodness. This is a very, very strange hand. This is a very, very strange pass from the opponent. No holder of the instruments on turn 1. I wasn't sure that I was even going to be able to attack with Efficient Scrapbot. But yeah, it's probably just going to be Scrapbot, Enhanced Retriever, Scrapbot. These type of, I would call them like rescue lines, where your hand kind of sucks. So you play for the Retriever to grab a Scrapbot to just draw more cards and try to recover your hand. And there are a lot of outs to hands like this where all you're gonna do is... so I probably have to open realistically. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to open every turn at this point on. Which is fine. I'll just take the 2. I'm not really concerned about damage in this matchup. I think I outraced them pretty clean. That is interesting. So I do value this 4 out of 6 Scrapbot's life. So if I were to, for example, Scrapbot pre-attack, I won't be able to ever swing with anything. So pretty clearly an open attack. It's against a Fractal matchup, you're probably just going to end up open attacking every turn. They have a 8 mana, sometimes 7 mana way to shift, but it's just not consistent enough to... They have open attack punishes in this deck? I wonder if they're going to shoot the Scrapbot. Ooh, they're letting me Scrapbot them. Interesting. And we can take a turn like this to refill and level the old Scrapbots. Wonder if we can manage to start zorping them. There's not a whole lot of motion in this hand. So I'd love to get zorping as soon as possible. I'm curious why they didn't do that pre-attack. I guess they thought I was gonna. I'd love to start getting Zord down. Oh, here we go. All right, we've got some motion on the. Here we go. Hold up, double. Aardvark on the way. Things are looking up. Now, actually, I'm a little bit suspicious of playing Aardvark here just because they might do an interesting cheese that I have actually seen before where they buff the attack of it and then play a second one. I'll just let them do it if that's what they're trying. Yeah, that's definitely a cheese to keep in mind. With these fractal decks where they'll cheese you by buffing its attack and copying it sooner than they'll be able to. Although I mean my board is a little bit ridiculous. This is going to be a nightmare for them regardless. Their order of everything is strange. Yeah, I think I'm going to... Ooh, they're letting me do my board, which I of course appreciate. Of course appreciate that. Now, from their perspective, they're probably trying to play around Aardvark situation, but with triple scout around, it's never gonna work out nicely for them. And of course, they're in a situation where they're tapped beneath their open attack punish, so they're actually just gonna get blasted next turn. Oh, not to mention I draw 2 extra cards off of these 1-drops. This deck has so much card draw that even if you have a bad hand, like I wouldn't say that this hand was anything to write home about, but it just has so much draw that you consistently find everything you need, including the mountain, including your Ziv. You just find everything very consistently. Easy peasy, just like that. Alright, we got another matchup. We got those first 2 against off-meta decks. I wanted to wait. I wanted to just keep going until I found someone who was playing real stuff, and we finally did. Sungrace Phasetide is like, there's a gazillion ways to play this deck, but all of them are pretty real. For this kind of matchup, we're going to want to not get outvalued. Important part, so we're looking for Zord. Okay. Start with 1-drop-1/1. This guy synergizes super nicely with Aardvark in a very non-competitive fashion. Like, it's very difficult for them to actually block on turn 1 with like a holder of the instruments. Although Kinetic Absorber is one that is like surprisingly good against this deck. Wow, no block. Holy moly. Not what I expected to see. So one thing I could do here is Aardvark. Is one way to play it. The other way would be Enhanced Retriever post-comp. I kind of like Enhanced Retriever post-combat a little better. enough. Yeah, our hand is pretty slow. We've got a Rogue Amalgam we're probably going to play towards. Protect it with time stops, something like this. Nothing too fancy. And one of the cool things about this deck is you don't actually have to attack if you don't need. Like, in a situation like this, you can just chill and play your Aardvark, and they actually have to come to you. Because next turn, you're going to come down. So. Now, what I'm going to do here is just chill it and grill it and play a little, take a defensive posture. It's a really nice example because those other games I was playing from an attacking posture, but this deck works great from a defensive posture too. Well, Aardvark, they're probably going to try to use the Doctor to wipe the board. And we can play our second Aardvark in that case. Changing the timeline out of one true timeline is nice for this matchup. Helps them not get too crazy. And here's the part where we'll just begin throwing things at their face and getting our mountain online. Turn 7 is going to be the mountain turn. Probably worth to headbang right away. Like, letting them use oops and healing spells to save their units is pretty rough, so I think it's time to start with the headbang. And this is definitely a matchup where we're not going to hate to see stuff like Rogue. And especially Deny. Like, these type of matchups, they play out of line a lot of the time. They're pretty often just going to main deck out of line. So here I think I'm in the market for some double Zorping turn. Like, passing with lots of mana up is something that Sungrace often wants to do for supernova reasons. I would love to ink to come into the mud. It's also fairly likely that they have the 7-drop, so I want to try to pivot out of having a full board of 1-drops by the time turn 7 hits, which is another reason I want to start moving on those. Creating everything's always nice for me. I super like it when that happens. Rapid iteration I'm going to need to save for their threats, unfortunately. Because I would love rapidly iterate on this challenger or something. Like, there's just no removal budget for that. It's now, I don't think I can afford to play the second Zorp into full mana from the opponent. Go ahead and shoot. Now, actually, that could have been a misplay. Like, like, it does play around the +1/+1, but if, for example, they recall it, I'm actually a little bit sad that I don't have enough of this. Let's just play our stuff out because we have favorable. And by our stuff, I probably mean so let's count the graveyard. 2, 3, 4, 5. Mountain's definitely on. Whoa, really definitely on. Okay. So we can use these draws off of Rogue Amalgam to go grab Mount. Itch. I would love to hold top. Well, actually, what I kind of wanted, I want to play it like. Damn, no Mountain. Holy moly. 20 cards in deck, zero Mountain. That's tough stuff. Double Leaf Scrapwood in response. Ditch territorial bag. Now we can still probably like Chrono scan the Rogue Amalgam. I think we would love to play this quickly. Let's whip it out with pace, as they might fuck or work. Here's our Mountain. Here it comes. Here it comes. We're gonna do the thing. We're gonna do the thing. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's all I have to say. This is likely a out of line from the opponent, but this is a real who asked out of line, because out of line only kills 2 of these mountains. Wow, this is also passable too. Oh wow, this is really passable. Oh, this is really passable. Wow, this is, oh, it's so passable. Wow, 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 wow. Oh, it's so passable. They're insanely cooked if we pass. Well, they're ridiculously cooked if we pass. No. It's... We'll just go, 6 damage is 6 damage. And they're not even full banking it. 6 damage is 6 damage. So, out of line is good against this deck, it's true, but the problem is you just have so many of these guys that, like, they just don't have enough mana to play out of line. Like, out of line costs 6 mana, and this motherfucker costs 0. Like, the math just doesn't math in their favor. Especially when there's like 2 different cards that they need to, like, actually. Just play the one that they know about, and then we can threaten to pass. They're probably just gonna grab cards, which... I think we're just gonna Boomba out as many Titans of the Forest as we can. I'm just thinking about playing Rogue first. I am gonna. Yeah, nice 0/0. Nice 0/0 unit. Love that. Love that for you. 0-0. The 0-0 situation is crazy. Oh my god. That is an OMG from me. So here's where we have to start thinking about like difficult punishes and like what can they actually do to us on punish. I'm like fairly certain there's a lot of nothing. And this is also a similar reason why we run free time stop. There's one in the graveyard currently. Holy Christ, our graveyard 37 things. I think we're allowed to just flip in. Because like, the fuck are they gonna do in Sungrace Phasetide? And even if they wipe our whole board, like we've got more. There's more where that came from. Genuinely, it's crazy. I could Chrono. I think I may end up chronoling in response. Like, if I really wanted to lethal right now, I could chrono overwrite the Mr. E, but I straight up just don't need to. Like, it's actually unnecessary. Oh, I maybe should have done it pre-combat so they can't block the... Minus 10. Yeah. GG. Thanks for watching. This is how to play the mountain deck. I'm actually a little bit afraid of what's going to happen to the rank ladder after I release this video showing the proper build for it, but it is what it is. Hopefully the nerf is coming soon. I'll see you guys later.